So, hello, welcome to episode 7 of the Bottoms Up podcast. I am here today with a very special guest, a very beautiful guest, Tene Green.
Thank you. Hi.
So, Tene and I met a couple of months ago at the Link Up.
Yeah,
Link
it
Up.
was a beach day.
Yeah, that was like the first one that I went to. And it's just been so nice ever since.
We were running our mouths that day.
Absolutely.
Just talking. But yeah, that was definitely our first meet.
So it's very wonderful to have you here. I'm like super excited to talk to you just about your life and growing up here and a lot of the work that you're doing now, like with your social media.
Thank you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
You know, this is new, but I'm liking it. Embracing changes.
I didn't pour our drinks.
Oh,
that's my bad. No, it's hot as fuck out here. So yeah, sip away as much as you need to.
These are so cute with the little umbrellas.
Also, it's literally Arizona tea. There's nothing alcoholic about this. I know.
It's okay. No, it's so cute.
So announcements wise, I'm still working on getting together a calendar of ideally as many events as possible, especially trying to get the more repetitive ones up so that people have a general idea of what's happening. I'm going to try to also add a list or a directory or something of some of the different organizations that are regularly putting stuff on, just so that you guys as listeners have a resource to be able to know like what's happening in the area, and so there's no question of like, oh my goodness, what do I do, what's happening, what's going on. So yes, I will absolutely release that. I'll send an announcement out when it's taken care of. So first thing that I like to do with my guests is horoscopes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
You are a Libra, correct?
I am a Libra. It's our season.
Wait, your birthday
is October 20th. Yes.
Okay.
So 10/20.
Yeah, we'll make plans later.
Right.
Do you have co-star?
I do.
Okay, I do co-star.
You want me to?
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, that's fine. So my horoscope for what is today, October 8th, says start today with a pep talk in the mirror. You know what's so wild?
You did that?
I didn't start with a pep talk, but the first thing I did when I woke up is I put on some inspirational morning motivation on YouTube. So, okay.
Yes.
So today through Wednesday, be honest. A new chapter of your life is calling. Out with the old, in with the new, you're ready for it. Do, feather pillows, monograms, Chinese money plant. Don't, hubris, captive audience, coyness. There is literally a money tree directly behind me.
Wow, so, it's just getting better and better.
Yeah. That's kind of scary.
It's the alignments. Okay,
I do need to work on honesty. I will say that, but
honesty.
I'll deal with that later.
Yeah, okay, so you want me to read mine? Mm-hmm. Okay, so mine says these rocks can either be stumbling blocks or stepping stones. I'm going to have to think deeper into that and what that means to me, because I can tend to see a lot of rocks and nothing referring to like stepping stones. Mm-hmm. Like I can see how I can go into those like negative mindsets when it comes to that, or the things that challenge me in my life. Because challenges, I'll be like, Okay, so do, it says action items, objectivity, alarm clocks. That's funny. I have like 7 alarm clocks every day. Don't, tight smiles, vicious cycles, and weaseling. Tight smiles. I do that. I'd be like, because he would getting on my nerves. But the alarm clocks, like I have to have 5. I have to have 5 to wake me up. I will not wake up. Like I'll press them off, like mentally I'm like clicking them all off, and then I click that last one off and don't realize it's the last one, and I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I hit snooze like an obnoxious amount of times in the mornings. It's really bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to do better. I wish I could just wait. Like, you know, people hear their alarms, they just get up.
Yeah,
they're like, oh gosh, I gotta get up. I'm like, I know I got 5 more minutes. But I set it 30 minutes before I have to actually get up, so I can keep pressing it.
I think I set mine like an hour before I have to get up.
Girl, I'm about to start doing that because I'll be pushing it. Like, I literally just the other day overslept, but I woke up when I was supposed to leave. So it was like, at least I caught it there, because when I used to be at my other job, I used to snooze to the point where I would wake up and my shift is halfway through. But I worked at a kiosk, so the kiosk is in the middle of the mall, just not open. I'm like, be friends with your managers. Be friends.
That's like very good life advice.
They'll understand.
Okay, so it seems like our horoscopes are relevant, and it wasn't mean, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so I want to circle back to kind of like what we were talking about before, because I think you're somebody that, like, when I talk to other people, they also say, like, oh yeah, like I met Tene and now I'm here. You know, here's how I was introduced to this group. Here's how I was introduced to this event, this experience. So it's funny you say that, like, you didn't used to be popular, because like you really are the one that like everybody kind of like, you know, gravitates towards. And I think it's like very wonderful, like, for you to kind of be that person in the group.
Yes, so like honestly, like growing up, I would say like elementary all the way to high school, all the way through to high school, halfway through college. So I'm not gonna lie, my whole life I was very, very skinny. So in my generation, in my time, like the body, and everybody was like talking about butts and, oh, she has, because you were developing. So like going through middle school into high school or whatever, you're growing boobs, but I'm not growing nothing. I was just skinny, and that was not at that time considered attractive. So being around like my other friends, who some of them developed earlier, so they had boobs, they had the hips, they had the butt and things like that, or they grew into their looks earlier. So like, I don't think anybody's ugly. It's just, again, it always depends on like they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So I feel like it just depends on, because somebody may think I'm ugly, but somebody may think I'm beautiful. So it's always going to be that. However, people I was around, I was not cute. Like I was cute, like, oh, you're so cute, but it wasn't like, ooh, I'm trying to like take you out, or I don't want to like be with you or anything, or you're so cool. People didn't know like my personality until they actually talked to me, and that's how I was able to make friends, was through me being me. Like, I'm very like big on humor, and you know, I joke a lot. Like, I'm just easy, like I don't judge, and that's another thing, I really don't. So you can be telling me the worst of the worst, and I'm just like, you know, I'm here. Like, if you choose to take that person back, or you choose to do this or that, I'm here. I know there's some people, they're like, oh no, if you do that, I'm not talking to you no more. And that's just how it is. So I don't know, that's a lot of how I was able to maintain a lot of the friendships I have today. But as far as on the look side of the spectrum, I was not grown into myself and my body. So I would say in college, like halfway through my junior year, that summer I did weight gain. So like I actually gained 30 pounds, like by choice. Like I went to the gym, I was doing shakes, I was taking a pediment. I was doing what I had to do. And I feel like all the weight went to like my boobs, because I didn't have no boobs, in the summer. So I come back to school and everybody's like, huh? Whoa, like, it's giving a little bit of body. Mind you, I still don't have the best body in the bunch, but I was giving body.
You're still giving body.
I was giving body, and I'm happy. I'm very confident in myself, so I never cared. Like, growing up, I was not like, oh my gosh, I'm so skinny. I didn't care. I'm like, I'm skinny, what about it? It's just that wasn't what was attractive. So now I'm starting to get into what's attractive, and then my hair. I'm learning my hair. My hair used to, oh my gosh, should I pull up pictures? It used to look sick. When I decided I want to go natural, I did not know what to do with my hair. Once I figured out my routine and what works for me, that changed a lot. Like, my hair, I love my hair. Like, because I worked hard. Like, I've been natural for 6 years, and I'm talking about like 2 weeks ago, just figured out a whole new method on how to get my curls looking the way I want it. So it's going to be a forever learning process when it comes to your hair. But overall, I was not always popular as far as what everybody was trying to be around. And I kind of liked it because I made real friends along the way. So anyone who was around me for me. They weren't around me for how I looked, and I was always appreciative of that, honestly. So, but now I can say I'm a little Miss Popular, and I eat it up. I be like, "Hi, yes, it's me. You were looking for me." Like, I love it because it's like I never got to experience that. So, yeah, I'm embracing it. I'm not shying away.
Okay, so then what was like in the motivation then to, I guess, pursue like the social media personality and like the kind of the influencer lifestyle?
Honestly, like my whole life I got, "You're so funny, you should be on TV, why you don't post more, like how you made me laugh just now, you need to put that on your account." I got that so much. It's just the look wasn't there for me personally, because I don't really care what anyone thinks, but I did not like how my hair used to look. So it's like I don't want to be in front of the camera and my hair's not cute, or I'm not feeling my best confident wise when it comes to my appearance. Like inside I'm confident, but on the outside I was just kind of like, I'm just not feeling it. Until I'm not looking the way I personally want to look, I don't care to be like in front of the camera. Once I started like feeling myself, I was like, oh yeah, now I'm gonna start going back to YouTube, because I did YouTube with my best friend a couple of years ago, but we kind of just stopped. But I liked it. I liked filming, and then I liked editing it all in that finishing product. I'm like, I really like this. So I was like, I definitely can see myself doing it. And then I noticed like everybody was starting to tap into the vlogging culture, because like before it was more of like pranks or like videos of Q&As and like, you know, just like videos of actual like things going on, but it wasn't vlogging style. Like, let me take you around my day. Once I started seeing that, I'm like, I actually like that, because all of these events I go to, all of these people I meet, people like literally watch my story and they're like, "Girl, you just be having a time." And I'm like, why not just document that? And it really came from, I love taking pictures, I love recording things, and not professionally, I just love memories. Like, I'm a memory hoarder. My phone camera roll right now has 23,000 photos on it. I don't know, it goes back to when I first got my first iPhone. I have everything. So it's like, when I do have kids, I can take them through my whole life, starting from, you know, high school, I would say, because that's when I got my first iPhone. I love that. My mom too, big boxes of pictures, because you used to get them developed.
Yeah.
So many pictures. I can see my life in all those pictures, and I'm like, I love that. So recording this is really not for like some like fame purposes or like, you know, getting out there and making money from it, whatever. It's really memories for me. It's like I can always go back and we could see all our moments. Y'all could go back too, because a lot of you guys are in my vlogs.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
So it's like, I remember when my hair was looking like that, or I remember when we used to hang out with her. She was so cool. Like, what? You could always go back and see so much stuff and so much growth. So that's what really got me into that. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, like when I first met you, and I was asking you like a lot about, you know, the social media side of things, and you had mentioned that part of the influence, like to start that, was wanting to bring light to a lot of the like lesbian life that was happening in South Florida. But I guess like, okay, what was it like for you growing up here? Because where'd you grow up? What area?
Here. Wilton Manors, actually, where we always party. That's where I grew up. I lived there for 7 years, and then I moved to Oakland Park, which is like 5 minutes away. So I've been here my whole life. But for me growing up, it's funny because growing up in Wilton Manors, I don't know who the listeners are, but if you remember going to Wilton Manors Elementary, they used to be like, "You gay, you gay." You would get cracked on if they found out you were going to Wilton Manors. Because that, I don't know how to properly refer to it, but they say that is the gay city. Like, that's where everything's at. Like, Stonewall Pride is there. Like, everything gay is there. So if you want to feel comfortable and welcome, that would be the best place to be, honestly. Like, the clubs are there, where we party is there, everything's there. So it's like, growing up there, I never felt weird. Like, I always knew my sexuality, like as far as being attracted to women, since I was like 3 or 4. Like, I just
really
knew. It was never weird. Like, I didn't see it as, oh my gosh, this is like wrong. Like, it just felt normal to me. It never felt weird, and I actually liked it. I was having a good old time. And so growing up, like being around women and things like that, I was never like battling with, oh, do I like this? I just liked whatever I liked. So I used to say, you know, I was bisexual because I was talking to guys and girls. But for me, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just honestly like, I just like what I like. So it's like, whatever attracts me, if you attract me, just attract me. I lean more towards women. That's just how it is. And that's just with my experience with men. But growing up, I felt like I could be myself. I never felt like anybody's gonna be like, huh? It was just funny because I was so quiet growing up. When people did find out I like girls, I'm like, what? Since when? It's just always been like that. I just don't talk. Like, I'm not walking around like, hi, women. And then growing up as like a feminine presenting woman,
That too, yeah.
ain't nobody looking at me thinking I like women. So I missed out, especially being shy, not bold enough to go approach women I want to talk to. I never really got to date women growing up because it's like they're not looking my way. Like, granted, maybe they could be attracted to me, but they were not thinking. They just think I like a guy. So it kind of sucked until I got that confidence, and now I'm just going up to people talking. That's when my women dating life started. And I would say that was my senior year of high school, literally. So, yeah, I like growing up here. I really did. And then my mom's supportive, so I never had any, like, traumatic, like, coming out stories or, like, coming out. And my friends are supportive. Nobody looked at me funny. Nobody treated me any differently. Like, I was still Tene. So it may make people a little uncomfortable if they do see me dating a woman. Those who see me, you know, dating men prior to that, like, it's just like, whoa. But regardless, I'm not even PDA anyway, so you're not gonna really see, you wouldn't see it with guys or girls. I just wouldn't, I'm not open in that way. I would say yes. I'm trying to work on it, but PDA, I'd be like, no, nobody needs to see us kissing. Like,
No, I'm the same.
no,
I'm the
you
same.
doing?
It just
Get
feels a
out.
little gross.
Yeah, like, stop.
Like, this is my partner, this is my
Right.
person. I
Right.
can do all this with them, but, like, why do
Right.
you need to be involved?
That is not your business. That's how I view it. Like, what? It's not anything of being ashamed. It's just not your business.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do I have to kiss for you to see me kiss?
You know, I also feel like as, like, being, like, a more feminine presenting woman who, like, dates other women, I almost feel like if you're dating someone masculine, they might interpret that as you being ashamed of them.
Right.
And I hate, and like I didn't really kind of like come out as femme until like college, like senior year of college, is when I like really like steeped into it. And then after I moved down here, like it was kind of like a big life shift, and it was really easy to start presenting like a little differently and being like the high, like that, like a couple years ago you would never like,
And you look good, girl. You look good.
like you would never see me like presenting like in this way. And even for me, like I would say maybe like Doja Cat and like Megan Thee Stallion were like two big people who were really like up and coming at the same time, so that heavily influenced like the way that I decided like, oh, this is what I'm comfortable with, and this is how I'm comfortable presenting. But I feel like I just run into like so many like unspoken battles about like being like, you know, not looking gay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to be looking like.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, exactly.
So annoying. And it's like, wow, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. And I hated, like, I sometimes wish I could put a sticker on my forehead or something. Because there's some people I thought was cute, but I'm like, I'm too shy. I'm not going up to you. But the whole time they probably thought I was cute too. And I would never know. The world would never know.
Yeah.
So it
But
sucks.
when I'm in queer spaces, it feels easier.
That's why I love being out and all of these events and meeting new people, because this is my first time feeling like I can actually explore without feeling like I have to be the one to like wave my hands to the one other gay woman in the building, because I'm in a heterosexual space where everybody's just like not on that. So it's like being in a space where I know what we're all up in here liking, I'm like, I like this.
Yeah, there's no
I don't have
mystery.
to be so confused, and people actually come up to me because I'm like, duh, why do you think I'm here?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I love that.
Even though sometimes when I walk into queer spaces, I'm almost nervous that people still will assume that I'm straight just because of the way that I'm presenting.
Right. I definitely can understand that. I'm just like, y'all. I'm in there, I'm like having a time, and I'm getting, you want a drink? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like my first drink offer. Like, that's why I'm like out every weekend. I'm like obsessed. I'm like addicted. I'm like, you never know. It'll be somebody new friends, new everything. Like, I didn't even have like gay friends. Like, Yeah, my best friend, she likes guys, so that's just going to be that.
Yeah.
But now, like, knowing, like, you and other people who like what I like, I could kind of relate on that level, which I've never been able to. So it's like, oh gosh, I love it.
Well, that's part of like my motivation to go to the link up, because
Right.
I was dating somebody like when I first moved down here. Like I met somebody, we were dating for a couple of years. We broke up like a year ago, and so I at the same time too was just like really struggling with like making friends as an adult. So I like got on the dating apps thinking, okay, like I'll be able to date, but I'll also just be able to meet people generally, and like I'll be able to make, you know, maybe like make some friends. Neither of those went very well. So then, and the huge like motivation to start this podcast too was like documenting like this journey of like finding friendship and like finding vulnerability and like relationships in adulthood and not feeling so lonely about it. But it's the same, I was hitting like the same wall where like I was making straight friends, like I especially had friends from work, I have friends from riding horses, but it's just not quite the same. Like I really felt myself like craving those relationships and connections with other queer people. It just felt like what I needed like at this moment.
I definitely get that. I don't know, like I feel like I'm in my prime right now when it comes to like me in general. Like this is the most me I felt. So it's just like really cool. And I'm glad you came out that day, because girl, we be having a time.
You guys do. And everybody was so nice.
Yes, I walk up and I'm like, oh my gosh, hi, welcome. I'm like, oh my gosh. You know, some places you go, everybody's just like, you know, trying to be cute, trying to be like doing their own thing or with their own cliques. It's like, I don't know, I just feel so much more welcome. It's like everybody's more hands-on. But then again, I feel like because we're all just women up in here and we're all just like, oh my gosh, hard eyes, love, like, so it's like a bunch of us in one space. It's like we're just having a good time. So I definitely love it.
I didn't realize that it was definitely like caters towards black women either.
I'm like,
it adds.
Yeah, it definitely changes. I'm like, I need a little culture. I need a little spice in there. Because, And it's like, even growing up, being by the manor, it's just like a club full of like gay men. Like it's catered to them. Granted, we used to go there, and you'll probably see like 3 or 4 like lesbians or like, you know, gay women in the spot, but that's the same as if I went to a heterosexual event. It's like, this is the same thing. It was nothing new for me until I started going to these events. I'm like, now I know everyone here is that, and you might rarely see someone who's straight here. So it's just like, wow, I can finally be on the opposite side of that spectrum of like feeling like, oh, I don't really have much options out here. Like, no, I have a lot of options and opportunities to make friends, connection, and network with people who have like that same preference as me, and just more relatable, like, in a sense. Like, I don't know. And granted, anybody can be relatable, but it just hits different when you guys have similarities. Like, you have similarities with the people you're around. It just feels different. And then you can feel like you can talk to them, because it's like, I know you would understand me. Versus someone who's not. It's like, I know you're being a friend and you're being nice, you're listening, but you don't really understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this. So, yeah.
I run into that so much with like my straight women friends.
Right.
Like I'll try to tell them like, oh, here's like I'm dating and whatever, and they're like, I have this one friend, we are no longer friends, but she would, every time that I would talk about like dating, like as a lesbian, she would be like, huh, I need more straight friends. And I'm just like, okay.
It's no like enthusiasm. I'm like, oh, I need the excitement. Like, girl, what?
Yeah.
The one from the party at the, like, yes. I'm just like, I need that excitement. Like, but if I say I was talking to like Louis, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is he? It's not the same excitement. I'm like, oh.
It's like, and at the same time, so I'm like very hyped when my friends talk about like dating and who they're interested in and all that, and I'm, you know, I'll do my little sleuth thing. Like, I got you on Facebook, I got you on Instagram. I'll find them. I will find them. But like, sometimes some of the men that they bring,
I'm not feeling that.
Yeah. It's like, you could do better.
Right.
So much better.
It's like, yikes.
Yeah. And like the things that they like put up with, Like, raise your standards.
She said, pick them up.
Like, in the nicest way possible. Like, please care about yourself the way that I care about you.
That's true. And that's what a friend's for, is being there and making sure that, you know, you're picking up on the things they may not. 'Cause, you know, love can be blinding. I actually believe that. So
we definitely had similar experiences growing up. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, I think I felt ugly as a kid. Looking back at it now, you know, like, you're a child.
Right.
Like, kids don't have to be beautiful. Kids don't have to be, like, you're a kid. You're growing. You're figuring yourself out. It's like really not that big of a deal. But like, I always had like super low self-confidence. And like, I still, like, now, like, I struggle to like work through like not putting so much of my self-worth in what other people think about me, and other people's like opinion or feelings towards me. But even, you know, when I was younger and I was still dating guys, like, you know, it wasn't, look, they knew something I didn't know. So like, bullet dodge, like, it's fine. But like, just that, like, that constant rejection, or like getting the the worst one was this guy who also, I was so out of his fucking league. And everybody told, like, afterwards, everybody was like, what's wrong with you? Like, I was that girl. But I told him that I was into him, and he was like, oh, well, I'm into your best friend. And I'm like, how is that even a reasonable response, like, in the moment? But
like, that's not the time.
Yeah. So I definitely, like, it still, like, affects me. Like, I still do, like, get a lot of validation. Like, if, like, a man, like, comes up and flirts with me, it's not, I'm not interested at all.
Right. It just, you feel good.
Yeah.
I want to know that I look good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to hear it.
And and now, like, again, going into queer spaces and like having other women approach me, it's very flattering, but I'm almost like, what am I supposed to do with this? I
haven't gotten to this step yet. I'm here. What do I do next?
Exactly. No one told me about this.
Right. Girl, we gonna talk about that after the podcast.
Okay.
But they be feeling her. They be feeling Miss Taylor. I be like, okay, girl.
But it's like, and it's also just kind of, I don't know, again, like, it validates that feeling of like, oh, like, I am like a queer woman, like, I do belong in queer spaces, and like, I can be like looked at as something that, like, you know, maybe not quite what people are expecting, you know.
That is true. That's true. And a lot is embraced more in queer spaces. So like, all of those different looks and styles and ways of living, like, it's just more embraced to me from what I've seen. It's not like a certain set structure of how things should be. Like, I feel like being queer is like, you really can be whoever the hell you want to be. Like, there's no filter. Somebody's going to like it. Like, somebody's going to like it. Somebody's going to probably be mirroring the exact same thing. So it's like, it's just cool to know, like, it doesn't matter how I am. And then odd pairings, like, it's a lot of those. It's like, oh, I would have never thought that this would mesh with this. Like, even me and my own personal experiences, I'm like, I would have never thought that I would be attracted to this type of, you know, vibe and this type of way of like living and this style. And I'm over here like, wow, it's like making me really get into like understanding and like loving people's personalities, like, who are you, not like what you present. Because growing up, that's all I was exposed to. What you look like. Is your hair cute? Oh, her hair's sticking out. I'm not talking. Or, oh, she don't got no booty. Like, it was always about what you look like. So, like, I'm not going to lie. Part of that did rub off onto me. I was never bad talking people. But I know I used to be like, no, I want somebody who's 6 feet tall. I was in that culture at one point. I want them 6 feet, dark skin, whatever you're talking about. Girl, if you don't just engage and talk to people and see what works, what feels right. And once I started doing that, I'm like, wow, like, you realize your type is really not even your type. You like something completely different, girl. So, yeah, I definitely like it. I love being in these spaces. It's very eye-opening, and it really helps you, like, develop as a person. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Locality also makes a difference. The community here and the way that people look and present here, vastly different from where I was coming from, like living in DC, and I like joke that I'm like the corporate gay. That's
No.
But that, DC is very white. Very white. Even though there's a lot of different cultures in the city, the majority of the time when I'm going to queer spaces, they're very Caucasian. It's almost, I think part of it has to do with like the fact that it is the nation's capital and people are very politically like involved and whatever. True. So you kind of get that very stereotypical, like blue haired, like female, like assigned female at birth, like activist type personality, which is nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But moving here and seeing, first of all, the way that like the Latin community and the Black community has like really influenced what the gay culture looks like down here is crazy.
Because it's way different. It's like a melting pot. Like it's like so many different people down here. And I could definitely understand that. And I think that's just like Florida in general. Like we're very like culturally mixed. Like growing up, I grew up with a lot of Haitians, but then I also grew up with a lot of white people. Like it was so mixed. Like it was so crazy. And then Spanish, it was just so mixed. It was never like one set kind of way or, people I was surrounded with. Like I knew every thing you could think of. I had Indian friends. Like I just had so many different culturally like influenced friends, and like how they were raised and how I was raised. It was just so different, but it's like we all got together, we all got along, and we kind of had no choice. We go to school together. These are my classmates. I have to see you every day. So it's like I could see how it'd be like really like wow, like from you coming from where you came from to here. To me, this is just like every day for me.
Yeah.
What it was is, I think around the time I came in the group, the girl who hosts the events, she did the first one. That was her first one, which was a lingerie.
When was that?
That was, when was that? That was, I feel like it was about a year ago. I feel like it might have been in September or October. I think it was September. It was one of those. August, September, October. It was literally about a year ago. So, and because the other events, runner, I don't know what you call her. She runs the other events.
Oh, yeah, so yeah.
She had more of like the Spanish community.
Yes.
So going to her stuff, it wasn't as diverse. But then when the other girl started hosting her events, it was more of people of color, like for real, like Black people, a bunch of Black people. And I was like, wow, like I'm so thankful for this. And I was there at the first one, which was like about a year ago. So it's like, that was very eye-opening to me, because I've never been to a party with or just designed for lesbian women. You have gay clubs, but it's just more catered to the men. It's not catered to us women. So we don't really, still did not have spaces we can go to meet people, mingle. I was on the app too. I'm like, this is the only place I'm gonna see anybody that, and I know what you like because we're all on this app. This app is for us. So it's like I'm just so thankful that, she decided to start doing that, because it's like now I found people, like, I can mingle, I can have somewhere to go every Friday. Like, that's why I'm out every Friday. Yes, I'm eating it up, because that's rare. I've grown up my whole life, I never had that. So that would definitely be something that would be eye-opening for me here. And like, wow.
No, it's crazy you say that, because from my perspective, it doesn't even feel that new. Like, it feels, I guess, when I showed up, I was, I don't know, like I'm still kind of battling this feeling of being an outsider a little bit, just because my perspective was, oh, these people have known each other for a while. Like I'm kind of like the new kid on the block here. And that's, that's just me, like, in my insecurities and all of that. But man, only a year, and like Marley's established. Like, she is here. And I saw Lashik, like she's been doing it for like 5 years or something, like 5 or 6. I guess I just assumed that Marley had also been doing it, like, for about that time.
She's been doing, like, the link-ups, like the beach. And before you came around, she wasn't doing the beach. It was at brunch. But I think because it wasn't as affordable for everyone, so everyone wasn't coming out. Probably, like, 15 people, maybe. I guess she came up with the idea to do the beach. And that, anyone could come to that. It's free. The beach is free. So I think that drew out her crowd more. And then I just remember seeing her post about how she's about to do a lingerie party. It was packed. Like, everybody was happy to be there. Like, you don't really have spaces like that. So it was just like, Yeah, we all there. We all came. And we all met. Well, not all of us, because I know a lot of them have known each other for years. I met everyone a year ago. So I met everyone in July. I didn't, July of last year, because I know July just passed. But yeah, I met everyone a year ago myself. It's just because there's something every weekend, it just makes you seem like you've known all these people for forever, and it's just because we have spaces we can be in and actually build connections and bonds, and then we look so close knit. I'm like, I just met this person yesterday.
Yeah.
People probably like, oh, how you know Taylor? I just met her a couple months ago.
Yeah,
I haven't been known her either. Like, I'm just happy. Like, I'm just meeting people. Like, I'm like besties, new besties. Like, yeah.
That is a struggle too. Like the link up is very attractive because it's free,
Right.
and it comes with a free shot. But
Yeah. I do be taking mine.
yes, I consider that a gift. But that's the thing too, where I've been trying to go to things and whatnot,
Right.
but everything costing $5, $10, $15. It's not
Adding up.
That's the thing. It's not like it's not individually expensive, but when I'm going to like
That's
every single
free.
weekend, maybe twice a weekend,
Right.
like that's expensive.
Because then it's like the way they mapped out their month now, it's like every weekend is something. It used to be like maybe one weekend out of the month. It's every weekend, and I'm like, I want to be at it all.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's like racking up, because then I'll be getting my drink, I'll be going to the liquor store on top of the ticket, and then I don't know, it does add up.
Yeah.
So
Getting
it's
an
like,
outfit.
hopefully, like, because for example, like the manor, it's like owned, and it's made for, it's a gay club. That's what it is. So it's like they have free before this time because that's owned, versus like we're going into a space that's owned by someone else, but we're using the space for the event. It's like they have to make up that money some way, somehow. It's like you're paying to rent out that space in a sense. And it's like one day I hope we can actually have a club that you don't have to like, it's free before 11, like free before 12, like, because girl, them $10, $15 at the door, I'd be like, oh my goodness, my pocket. And then now the poetry night, that's $25 at the door.
25?
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No more. Thank you. Like, so grateful, but it's like my pockets, they hurt.
I try to get like early bird tickets and discounts and stuff like that online, but sometimes look, my week is busy.
Right.
I forget.
Me too.
And then I get to the door and it's like,
Yes, I'm
this
like,
it? Okay.
you sure you don't want to just let one person? No? Okay, get the card out? Okay.
Yeah, can we barter this or
Right.
something?
Like, no.
But even like DC was kind of the same in that regard. I know, I guess like the United States just overall, like there's not a lot of lesbian bars. Like a lot of them have closed like over the past like 30, 40 years or so, for a variety of different reasons. But even when, this is like a couple weeks ago, I was walking Wilton Manors. I walked into a leather shop because I was trying to get a harness made. And I was talking to the guy who's like the sales associate, and he was just asking like, oh, like where do like lesbians hang out in Wilton Manors? And I said, oh, we go to Hamburger Mary's. And he's like, oh, Hamburger Mary's? Like, really? And I'm like, dude, that's all we've got.
all we have.
Like, that's really all we have. And then I guess like, well, Marley does her stuff at Koa, which is, it's something different.
Right.
But we really don't have any spaces that are just like dedicated to us.
What it's for. Yeah. Like, we're in other people's spaces with our space. And even being at Koa, I think that's like a Hispanic restaurant or like a Hispanic. So then it's like half of us, half of them.
Yeah.
And I know they probably looking around like, well, what's going on in here? They just coming out on a Friday night trying to get drinks and whatever food. And then it's like, oh gosh, is something else going on in here? I know they look confused because they stare. They just stare and stare. And it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Like it starts to give me those feelings of like, we should not be here. Can we leave?
Exactly.
Because I get like anxious. I feel like people are always trying to hurt us. Granted, not me, because I can get away.
Yeah.
I'm doing me. But I just know like mass presenting women and all the different other types of like queerness. I feel like being in spaces that are not for us, it makes me very nervous. It's like can we just go, like, because I hear so many stories, people getting killed, people getting beat, all types of stuff, and I hate that. So it's like having these spaces, it makes me feel comfortable to be free. It's just certain spaces where that's not what the space is for, like that place, which I like the vibes in there. It's just it's it's still open to, you know, people outside of the queer community. So it's like just being stared at, like I notice, and I'm like, oh gosh, like somebody's gonna get mad up here. I can't do it. I want to go home.
Yeah, that's been like my struggle with like dating. Because I mean, I exclusively date like masturbating women, and just seeing like the amount that people stare,
Right.
and like the comments, and it is gross,
Right.
and it is so uncomfortable.
Right. I'm like, oh gosh. And it sucks because it's like it makes you not want to go places for real. But then it's like part of you has to be like, you could make, I don't even know, like you could be that deciding factor if you want to be that change. Like, so maybe I need to be in this space. Maybe me being uncomfortable here will make it easier for the next person because I already done broke through a space that was not made for me. So it's like battling between, do you want to be that person or do you want to just go home? Like, so I fight with that sometimes. I'm like, oh, let's not do that. And that's also why I struggle with PDA, especially when it comes to like being in my queer relationships. Like that is where I struggle with PDA the most, because I'm like, oh my gosh, people are looking. Like, granted, I don't care what someone thinks. My fear comes from the physical, like attacking. Like I don't want you to physically hit me. I've never been in a fight. I don't want to get punched. I don't want you putting your hands on me. And that's where my fear comes from. It's not about what someone thinks. Granted, that is a little bit why I don't like PDA. I think about what people think. I'm like, oh gosh, it's making them uncomfortable. But a lot of that comes from fear of like somebody trying to turn up and like put their hands on me or the person I love. Like, no, like I'd rather us just go home than you to get like beat up or something. Let's go home. But some people, they're very brave, and I commend them. Like, they're like, I don't care. I wish they would. And if they do, I'm going to fight back. I'm like, I can't. I want to be there, though. Because it's like, we should be able to do whatever we want. Yeah. Like, you should not be looking at me like you want to kill me or something.
It's like, just because a space is not inherently designed, like, for queer people, it doesn't mean that you don't have a right to be queer in that space. Right. Because it's not like I'm going into this space and I'm, like, augmented or something like that. Like, I'm not adding anything on. Like, I'm literally just being me and like being with the person that I love. Why does that threaten you so much?
So annoying. Worry about yourself. Eat your taco, eat your burger, whatever you're doing at that restaurant, and don't worry about me over here eating mine. It's like, that's just too much. I just never understood the fascination and like the obsession with like other people and how they choose to live their life, how they choose to dress, how they choose anything. Leave people alone. You do what you got to do. As long as no one's forcing you to do anything, that's not your business. Like, and if it's not directed towards you, that's not your business. So that's how I've always felt about that. I think that's very cringe.
So you said kind of like the first like event, I guess, when this group started to get together was last July, like last summer.
Yeah.
So then when you met your girlfriend around that time, right?
I met her at my first link up. I think I actually met her at a game night before that, because one of the girls from the link up, she used to throw game nights at their apartment. So I was invited by a friend of mine to go. And at first I was nervous. I didn't know it was a queer game. I'm thinking it's just a game night. I'm like, I'll go. Good thing I went, because I got up in there and I'm like, it was so many masturbating women. I was like, ooh, candy, and then candy shop. I was like, which one? Like, I was so excited. I don't be in spaces like, so I was happy. I got too lit. I got too drunk. But I still had a good time. And then the beach day, when I was more here, that's when I saw her. And I was like, I'm attracted. And I was like, and I could go up to her because I know what we all up in here liking. And so I just went up to her and talking. Granted, she was seeing me too from the game night, but I was so lit. Like, I don't really remember too many people and conversations. That's how I am when I'm lit. But yeah, I was thankful, because after that, we was just talking ever since. Like, talking. I kept trying to go over to the game nights, or like, oh, who's coming to the beach? Like, because I knew I would see her, like, in any of those spaces. And that's why I was glad it was always something going on, because I'm like, okay, now I can date. Like, this is how I can date now. By showing up, just come to the event. Whoever you like is probably going to be there. And the community is not that big yet, so it was still like pretty close knit. So it's like, I know you're going to be there. So yeah, that's definitely how we met. It's been up ever since. But yeah, that's my girl.
You guys are so cute together.
Thank you.
And like I like that she is like so supportive like of you. Like, that's really beautiful to see.
That's what I struggle with.
But it's hard, like regardless of sexuality, like it's hard to find like partners that are gonna hype you up, and that are gonna actually like want you to be the best version of yourself.
Right. And that's what I struggled with dating. Like I always felt that trapped feeling.
Yeah.
Like when she asked me to be her girlfriend, I was like, whew. I was nervous because anytime I get to that point or it starts getting too serious, it's like things start changing. Like now it's, oh, do you have to be out late? Or, okay, you got a body out. Like it just starts with the changing of the things that you signed up for when you met me. This is how I was. Let's not start doing that. And then it starts making me feel trapped. And then the jealousy starts like getting like amplified. And it's like, oh, like I just want to have fun. Like when I go out, I love mixing and mingling. I used to deal with like, you're just talking to everybody. You're so friendly. And I used to be like, dang, I am so friendly. At one point, I really was starting to like be like, dang, I need to calm down. And then I thought about it again. And I'm like, actually, no, that's just me. I'm just friendly. I'm okay with that. So if you don't like it, then maybe I'm not the person for you. But I'm not going to not go out and interact and engage. That's why I came out. If I was going to just be standing by you looking like a piece of candy or something, we could have stayed home and did that. So that's kind of how a lot of my relationships kind of would go. It would just get a little awkward in that sense because I am what you consider friendly. I'm walking up to people talking. I'm at the bar like, I'm in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. Like I'm everywhere, like kikiing and chatting. So it's like I used to hate like feeling like the person's either just being overly jealous or like you're just kind of starting to get too controlling. And I feel trapped. And I'm like, I actually don't want to be here anymore.
I think sometimes too there is like this weird romanticization of, especially in either like hetero relationships or masc femme relationships, like seeing like the possessive, like the jealous possessive partner. It's like, oh, like I want someone who's possessive. And I think I definitely fell in that trap until I dated someone who was like that, and then I was like, okay, so like a man looks at me and you're mad at me for that? Like, what did I...
That is the craziness. I used to be like, what does that have to do with me?
Exactly.
Like, you got this.
That's
like,
the thing.
you got this. Yeah. You're okay. I'm still here.
Like, it just confirms that I'm cute. So what? What's the issue?
Right. Like, you should be happy.
Yeah.
I like when girls be talking to my boo. I be like, okay. Because she's cute, right? Like, I know. I like it. It just makes me know, like, not even I have something that because granted, I am poly too. So, you know, just putting that out there. She's able to date. So regardless, like I am interested and I love to see how she interacts with people outside of me. I like to see that because I feel like people aren't always like their full self with you. Some people bring out different parts of you. And I like to see different things. Like maybe every time we go out, she might stand like this. Not saying she does, but she might stand next to me. She meets this person and they have her out here on the dance floor doing it. I'm happy, like, because I wasn't bringing that out of you. But I'm glad somebody can, because now I get to experience you out on a dance floor. I would never got to experience that. If I was like, where are you going? Why are you talking to this person? Oh, you just in everybody's face. Like, I don't think that does any good. Honestly, just does more harm, because now I'm trying to be a version of myself that works for you versus just being how I am. Like, it's like, oh, let me just stand here because I know they're gonna get mad if I start walking around. Well, no, that's not what I wanted to come out here and do. So, and I see a lot of people like that in situations like that, and I'm like, oh baby, I know you love to twerk. I know you do. And you just standing there not twerking, and you know the song is hitting, and you know you want to be out there twerking, but you're not going to. And then you're not going to do anything about it. You're just going to stand there. And I'm like, oh, no. I'm very vocal with that. I'll be like, no, I'm going to dance. If you want to be mad, you can stand over there and be mad by yourself. But that's how it is.
I do feel like what you say about how other people have almost like had the issue with you being like super social.
Yes.
It's like you and your girlfriend now, like you two together, like are that very like social and like outgoing and like super approachable, because you too like we're like the one, like at some point I'm like sitting there because like we're talking for a while and I was like, oh, like, you don't have to, don't feel like you have to babysit me. Like, you
Right.
can, like, and she's like, no, like, you're just great to talk to.
Right.
And I'm like, okay.
Because I was up in here chatting too. I was having a good time. It's like just being able to do that. And I thought she been knew you. I didn't know she met you the same day I met you. I thought she been knew. Because even how she was talking to you, I'm like, oh, that's her friend from a long time ago. I'm like, oh, it's nice to meet her friend. I actually just was talking to her. Like, I'm over here like, yeah, like I met her friend in my head. And it wasn't until we talked about it. And I was like, how long have you known her? She's really cool. I remember I'm like, she's really cool. And then she's like, I just met her. I'm like, she's like, I thought you knew her. I'm like, no, I just met her too. We're all just talking, like thinking that we known you. So it's like, I was just laughing. I'm like, we're just social people. And I'm starting to notice that. Because I'm like, what? I'm thinking you been knew her. She's like, no. I'm like, oh, what the? So yeah, that was that. We just be chit-chatting. And then she's social because she be coming out with her moves. And I feel like I always tell her, she has high sex appeal. So it's like she gives like, okay, mysterious girl in the club. She gives that, like, I need to find out more about her. I know she gives that off. So I'm like,
dude, you love her.
Yeah. That's what made me talk to her in the first place. So I was like, let me go see. And when we got in that rock bar, I'm just like, yeah, I need to talk to her because she's not saying much. She's just like in the space, like, and then she'll just dance. Like, she's not shy. Like, I was still shy. Like, I still have to like drink before I'm like gonna get out there. She's just getting out there, just got there and just started dancing. And I was like, oh, confidence. And that attracts me, like confidence. It really does. Because I'm not the most confident, like, initially. I don't just start off like, hey, hi. No, I probably had like a shot or two before I started talking to somebody.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, when I'm looking for someone like to date and things like that, I look for that. Because we both cannot be like teetering on confidence, because then we just both gonna be standing here adding on to each other's non-confident. I need someone who could pull me out of that. And then I'm like friendly, so I kind of pull that out of people I usually date, because a lot of people I date, they're not the most friendly. So it's like talking to people and like then they're seeing how I'm interacting. I'm like, hey, and then they're like, oh my gosh, like, okay. And I'm like, this is so and so, this is so and so. So it's like I kind of help in that way too. Because I'm not shy to talk to people. It's just dating. I be like, no, you talk to me first. Yes. No, you come to me first. But I want to be able to do it. I be like, wait, give me a shot. Okay, I'm going. Bye, guys.
Actually, I mean, I just really started like approaching women. Yeah, because again, as a feminine presenting woman, people. Well, you know, I think it's just like dating apps in general. First of all, they suck. And people just they don't reach out. Like, nobody wants to send the first message. Right. I think it's just like, women, we haven't gotten there. We still have like another couple like decades of evolution before we're able to, you know, approach each other first. So when I go out into like career spaces, I'm just like, I've just started like pushing myself to talk to people. Yeah. That was like a big thing for me at Barbie weekend.
Yes, girl, I was peeping.
Because by the last day, I'm like, okay, like I just need to go. Like, I need to learn how to just talk to people and like be outgoing, like not flirting, but like I just need to go and like approach people. So like, I don't know, like I know there's like a couple like random people that I talked to, like got a couple of Instagrams, like I went up to security guard.
Girl, I was like, wow, she is bold. I'm like, I love it, because I don't even be that bold.
Like, let's talk. Like, I don't care. Like, this is chill. But it was just me. It was literally just like me trying to grow as a person and like do that for myself.
That's really, really good. Because sometimes you have to be your own motivator and push your own self. Like, yeah.
I promise you, it's not as hard as it seems. I know
it isn't, because I've done it, and I think doing it makes me able to do it again. It's just I still need that shot or two. Like, I have not done that sober. I don't think I've ever like really walked up to someone sober. Like, I'm probably, and then again, I'm usually in a social setting, so that's probably why I'm lit. Like, and then I see someone I like, so I'm not like, oh my gosh, I like them, shot. It's just, I'm already a little lit, so it just makes it easier. I don't meet people in like regular, like a library or something, and of course I'm not gonna be on a shot. But that would be my test, like being somewhere where this is not the setting. Like, just go up to them.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I have done it sober yet. I was at the airport and my bag got pulled at security, which I had nothing in there. So I was like, what is the issue? I'm like, whatever. So the woman in line in front of me, she also like had her bag pulled, and I'm looking at her, and she's, you know, she's masked. She was really cute. She's a little tall. She had that nice haircut. Yeah, right. I'm like, why don't y'all take your time? Like, right. I got a little view at TSA. And so I'm like, and so I'm kind of like standing off to the side, waiting for them to get to my bag. I kind of, you know, make those little glances, like that medium eye contact. And I'm thinking like, okay, clearly I'm not going to like flirt with this woman in the airport, but you know, I might make a little comment. I think I was wearing these joggers that have like a rainbow on the side. So it wasn't like a complete mystery.
Right. You see this?
So they finish up with her bag and they're handing it back to her, and I'm about to kind of, you know, make my move, make a little statement. Right. Her wife walks up next to her. And I averted. I completely was like, break eye contact. I don't know you. You don't know me. This is just the airport. I'm at TSA. Let's focus on the task at hand. So yeah, that was, yeah. So yeah, I haven't, that didn't work out. Right. But not because of me. It's just, you know, circumstances.
You tried. It just sucks like when you do try, it's like something. Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh. And it was in college at a tailgate. I thought the girl was so cute. Went up to her, telling her about herself. Of course, she was like, thanks. And like, yeah, follow me, da-da-da. I started watching the stories. I was like, you're with somebody.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And the girl was next to her when I was hitting on her, like smiling. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed. They're probably laughing at me at home. Like, what are you doing? I couldn't believe it.
That's a little weird.
And that, to me, like, that's probably like the most no-no for me when it comes to hitting on someone. Like, don't embarrass me. Tell me, or, you know, no, this is actually my girl here, or something. Don't be smiling in my face, taking my social, because I'm gonna think you laughing at me when you get home. Both of y'all.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're talking about it.
That was probably my most sober experience. Yeah, that was not fun. But I tried, and I'm like, I felt good that I actually did it. I'm like, I can do this. But lately, I don't really have to like walk up as much anymore. The only time I walk up is if I know I'm attracted to you and you're not peeping me. I'm like, no, I gotta walk up, because they're not gonna do it. You could tell if you're like leaning at somebody and they're kind of looking at you back, is like, oh, they gonna come over here. But if the night starts getting late and I'm like, no, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm not that person who'll be like, well, if they don't come up to me, then they don't want me. No, sometimes they don't think you want them. You might just have to be the person to do it. And sometimes like, I'll do it. That's what I'm saying. They're like, I'm like, no, I'll do it. I got it. Because I don't know if I'm ever see you again.
So how does that work for you, since you mentioned that you're poly? Of course, everybody kind of has a different structure to it. What is that, I guess, like, what would your like ideal like poly relationship be?
Honestly, I would definitely want another femme. One, because it's just very different. I usually date mass presenting women. But lately, being in these spaces, I've actually been finding myself attracted to feminine women. And I'm like, oh, I never would have known that. I just thought I only had one type. And that ties back into how it like makes you realize your type is not really your type. So it would definitely be another feminine woman. And I would say, because I cannot have more than 3 partners. That's too much. One, financially, mentally, like all that. Because you have to make sure you're giving your 110% to more than one. So you don't want it to be like somebody feels like they're not getting as much love than another person, or they don't feel like confident in your connection. Like, I don't ever want anybody to feel like that. So I would definitely say I could see really one more partner getting added, but I wouldn't mind if it was 2. And in our situation, I would prefer us all to be together.
Gotcha.
But I'm not opposed to having outside partners outside of each other. I just feel like it's just more ideal, because it's like you don't have to worry about splitting up the time too much, because you all like each other. You're all attracted to each other. So it's like, it's our time, not, okay, well, I spent time with you, I'm gonna go spend time. Like, I don't have to divvy it up too much. It's just, we're all here. We all want to be around each other together. And granted, I believe in still having that alone time. So even if there was another partner, I would want my alone time with that partner, and I would want my partner to have alone time with that person, because connections are different. I'm not my partner, and my partner's not me. So things I may bond with this person over may not be the same things they bond over. And I want those like connections to be explored, and to have those like outside connections without it always being a group like thing all the time. But that would be ideal for me. Another femme. It could be a mass presenting, but I'm definitely more, cause like I want a little homegirl. I want a homegirl. Like, hey,
A little bestie?
yeah. I always tell my boo, cause my boo want to be my homegirl, but like I'm like, you homegirl, but you're not homegirl. Like, girl, like I need someone like, girl, let me tell you, like you be like, okay, just da 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 da. The logical response.
Yeah.
I need you to be like, right? Why would they do that? Oh my gosh. No,
like feed into my delusion a little bit.
Get into the delusion. She's very like straightforward, like no, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
She really is.
Right.
She's
like,
very blunt.
Right. What in the world? I'm like, we supposed to be like, because I could be like, oh my gosh, I'm just make some. Look at that girl. Do you see her? Okay, that's just a girl. Girl, we supposed to be like, yes, I saw her. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, you're not doing that. My homegirls, I need another homegirl. So that's why I say I'm definitely like interested in like finding like a femme partner to add to the equation, because I feel like that would be like the perfect balance. I am not the most like affectionate and like catery type of person, because I wasn't raised like that. So that kind of plays into how I am now. I want to be more like that, but I'm not. I know there are some girls who are very like, are you okay? Let me get your shoes, and here, let me rub your back. Come sit down. I cook you dinner. Like, I'm not like that. I feel like the femme that I would want to be added to group, I would want them to have some of those characteristics. To like, one, teach me and bring that out of me, and two, cater to that want of someone who does do all those things. I don't do all that. I'm more of like the adventure type. Like, I plan this, we're gonna go here, we're gonna go do this. Like, I'm like a outdoorsy, like I want to go do things. That's fun for me. That's love for me. Like, I'm not worrying about, let me get your laundry. That's not a perfect day for me. Cooking, cleaning, like, no. A perfect day is like, we just did so much new stuff and experienced so many things we didn't get to do. Like, I'm like memories, like, let's get out there, let's get into the world. I'm not like the house, more of like that house woman. I'm gonna clean and do my laundry and wash dishes, but I'm not finding joy like, oh my gosh, this is like making me so happy doing. Some people find joy in that. My gosh, I clean everything I cook. That's great. I just don't.
Yeah, I do. I'm such a caterer.
See, that's why I'm like, there are people who are like that, and that works. That's why I need that. I don't need another same person like me, because it's like, any people who get added into the dynamic, I just feel like they have to bring their own, like, be different from us, like, because I just feel like it'll just pull different things out of us, and we'll all be able to learn from each other in different ways. We all can't be the same. What she likes versus what I like is very different. What she finds joy in versus what I find joy in is very different. So I feel like we kind of miss like that one piece, and that's the new partner. I feel like they're gonna kind of connect us all together, even like closer than we are, like just more eye-opening. That's like when I'm in like a group setting and like somebody's arguing, but it's like there's people who can kind of point out where this person's coming from outside of them, because they're arguing with each other but they're not getting it, and then this person's like, well, I mean, the reason why they're probably saying this is because this, and then it's like, oh, and then the person's like, okay, that does make sense, and it kind of diffuses it. I feel like we need that sometimes, because it's like we're very dominant, headstrong people. Like, I'm like, what's up? And she's like, what's up back? And it's like, no, we need someone to be like, okay, wait, this is where she's coming. And because when people have done that, we're like, oh, well, come here, come on, let's go. Like, we're over it. It's just, we need that difference. So yeah, that's what I would say. My ideal partner would be a feminine presenting woman. They could be masculine, it could be anything, whatever just feels right. It's just preferably feminine, because I also want to be more tapped into that side of the lesbian community, because I have not dated a feminine woman for real. So, and I feel like that doing that also requires growth from me, and I want to grow in that way. Yeah, so definitely into that.
No, my attraction also, like, it's evolved over
Right.
time. I think I always had like a little bit of a preference for masked women. It wasn't really until I think after like I got with my last partner, then I was like, yeah, like I definitely want to date someone like who is masked presenting. Like it's what I'm into.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like what you were saying before, the personality aspect. Like you need somebody who complements you very well. I'm very introverted. I'm empathetic. I'm very emotional. Like I'm let me rub your feet.
Right.
Like, let me cook you dinner. Like, let's cuddle. Like, let's be homebodies.
Right.
But like
I'm like, just put a Band-Aid on it. Come on, let's go. Like, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, we're wasting time here. Outside. So it's like, yeah, I think that's definitely needed.
But then it's like, yeah, I need somebody who's going to, or even whether it's a relationship, whether it's even friends, people who are going to like get you out and like get you like, more engaged like with things that are happening not on your living room couch, especially in my 300 square feet. Like I'm going to stir crazy. I need to go places. I need to be outside.
I'm the number one outside advocate. I'm gonna get people outside. I'll be like, hello, what are you doing? I'll be beating on people's doors, my sisters. I'll be like, what we doing? Come on, y'all. We got places to be. So
No, that's why I asked in the group chat, like, hey, what are we doing to celebrate?
Right.
What's happening? Anybody go into this?
But it's just like, I do it because I don't, like, literally, you know, people are like, where is that? Like, people don't know about, like, these events. And even how you say you found it on Eventbrite. Like, I'm like, what? A lot of people aren't on Eventbrite, so they will never know. But there's so many other people. Like, any person I meet, I'm like, you know, they do the beach day every month. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, come out.
Even the Eventbrite thing, it was like an act of desperation. I literally go on there and I search lesbian. And that's how I find stuff.
That's crazy.
But even then, like, a bunch of stuff pops up that's not super relevant. That's like witchy things will pop up, or like gemstone, like healing, like sessions and things like that, because there's like a little bit of an overlap. But yeah, like trying to actually find like, you know, lesbian specific events is difficult. Even trying to find LGBT specific events around here, very difficult.
Right. That's actually how I found out about her thing, Marley's events, because I went on Instagram and I found the brunch. Before I met any of them, I went to the brunch about a month before that. I got so nervous, I left. So I only met them kind of by fate. I just so happened on Memorial Day to be on the beach with my best friend, and my friend from high school, my best friend from high school was sitting down, put her mat right next to kind of our mat. Haven't seen her in over like 3-4 years. Boom. She's there with who lives with my partner now and all of them, and she's like, come to this game night. And that's how it all started. I had already found those events like a month before that. I just was so nervous and anxious. Me and my sister walked up to the brunch. We see everybody at the table. They look like they all know each other. We just sweating, and we walked up to the waitress. She was like, the hostess. She was like, hi, how may I help you? I'm like, oh, we're just trying to get a table for 2. So nervous. She was like, 45-minute wait. We're like, no problem, we'll wait outside. Got in the car and drove off.
I almost did the exact same thing at the Linka, because I saw like everybody together, and I showed up super late. I saw everybody together, and I just walked. I continued walking down the beach, and I was texting one of my other friends, and I was like, hey, I don't think I can do this. Like, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. And the only reason why I went up to your girlfriend was because like I'd recognized her from like some of both the less chic stuff, and so I was just like, okay, this is somebody, like this is a face that I recognize. I think I walked up to her and I was like, is this the lesbian meetup? Mind you, there's like 3 different rainbow flags.
Like, I know what it is. Somebody help me.
Like, I don't have eyes. Can you direct me like in the right location? But yeah, it's scary. I only went because I ended up meeting them. If it wasn't for that, I probably still would have been there. And the first beach day I went to, which is where I soberly met my now partner,
I was walking back and forth.
Yeah.
Because I got there first. I got there before any of them. And my sister didn't live here at the time. So I was by myself. I walked. I seen the flag, too. I went. I kept walking.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is the people that I know? The one person I knew. I'm like, where is she? Taking forever. I sat on the side and I just sat there. And I'm texting, I'm calling, they're not answering. I'm like, I'm about to just go home.
Yeah.
That's when they were like, oh, we're pulling up. I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk on that beach. I couldn't do it. And it's nerve-wracking. And it's like, I wish there was a better way to welcome new people in. But the beach is so public, it's so hard to know who is with who. And you don't want to assume somebody's coming for this. But it's like, it's something. I got to think of something because I know how I felt. Like walking up myself, and I'm like, it's just, I need somebody to like look at me and be like, hey, come. And it's like, nobody's doing that. Help me. Even when I walk up, it was a little awkward. Like people are like, hi, like who are you? But it's like a little more energy. I'm freaking out here.
So like what would you say is like the next step for you in terms of like this platform that you're growing?
Honestly, for me, I love documenting like my nights out and stuff. But I definitely want to also like tap into like some more like sit down videos, like where I'm talking about my experience as like a queer woman. I don't really talk about that much. But I know people can relate to a lot of the things I've been through, I've gone through, even how what we're doing now. Yeah. This was also nerve-wracking for me, but I'm like, I know this is going to be like beneficial, whether it's big or small. So I think for me, that's also how I want to make some changes, like even just doing Q&As, like letting people ask me whatever, and I just answer like with my truth and what I have going on. Because I try not to be too repetitive. Sometimes when I go out, I don't bring my camera because like I feel like we already know, we show up saying we're married, everybody acting fool, everybody drunk. If it's like nothing new to it, I don't really vlog it. But I'm definitely going to keep vlogging. It's just not things that are too repetitive. And I definitely want to do more sit-down videos. And I actually did start recording because I wanted to do more natural hair things. So actually going more into that. Because people be asking me about my hair. They be like, girl, what did you do? Your curls, this and that. I'm like, okay, let me make some videos. But I haven't gotten around to it. So I'm like, I want to be more into that as well. But definitely keeping the queer everything on my page too. Because a lot of people that show up to stuff and find out about it is because they see things that I post. If I wasn't posting, they would not know. So definitely want to keep doing that.
I feel like we need like a hashtag or something. Like, I don't know, like Lesbian Miami or something like that. Or like, I don't know.
Because it's like, it's hard to find. Like even finding that brunch, I typed lesbian on Instagram and then I saw the flyer and I was like, oh, look at this. And I'm seeing some mutual followers. Granted, I didn't know who they were. Sometimes I follow people, I don't really know them. But I'm like, what is this? And I'm seeing it's been going on. Lace Chick, it's been going on. I'm like, I've been missing out all this time. I said, well, let me go on ahead and get out there. So, yeah, it has to be something that gets the message out further to South Florida in general, because a lot of people do not know. And they got to know. They got to know. They're missing out. It's so much fun. So, yeah, even with our group chat on iMessage, like, I feel like we could do something with that. Where we're like, literally, because it's at 20. Once it gets to 30, you can't add anybody else. I feel like even making like a WhatsApp where we just keep putting people, but having it so that we're introduced in the right way and then able to like host things ourselves. Like maybe we just want to go to the beach, but everybody come. So it's like we're all continuing to build relationships with each other.
Like that's exactly like what I'm doing with this podcast. Is like, one, using the visual portion to almost like rebrand like what it looks like to be queer and like really put a picture to that experience. And then on top of it, just, I don't know, giving people access to the community down here. Because it's, I mean, even over the past couple of months, like this has been like one of the greatest gifts I can give to myself. Is just like really engrossing myself in a community where I feel like I belong. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your girlfriend. I'm so grateful for the group chat.
Yes, we be having a time. I am too. I'm so happy with all of y'all. Like, I love it. And it's crazy because a lot of you guys I wouldn't have probably talked to or met or engaged with had it not been for us making the chat or going to the event. Like, I feel like if I walked past you when I was out, I'd probably just keep walking. Like, I'm not like stopping in the public. It's like, hi, like I'm just shopping and get me out of here. So it's like being put in positions where I can make new connections outside of what I know. And you really only make connections by being in different spaces. So a lot of our friends we have is because we went to high school, so we made high school friends, or we went to college, I met this person in college, my job. But like, that's it. And if you're not at any of those things, you're not really meeting people unless you're on an app, which is also like not the best. So they really don't be texting, because once I match, I'll be like, I'm not gonna say nothing, right? Are they not saying nothing? Now 3 days went by. Oh my gosh, like never mind. Like it's just like never mind. So yeah.
Well, this has been lovely. Thank you so much. I think we're losing both daylight, but you know, it didn't rain. It didn't rain. I'm grateful. Thank you, God.
Right.
I've already drowned one phone recently, so I can't drown a second one. But yeah, thank you so much, Tene. Where can everybody find you? Socials?
So my Instagram is the number 1, the number 0, 4 A's and 1 Y. So it's spelling Tene, like my name. And then my YouTube is TeneTV. So if you spell out TENE TV, you should find me on there.
You guys should absolutely subscribe. I watch every video.
You'll see her in some of them. Yeah. You're actually going to see her in the one I just finished editing today.
Oh, wait, which one?
It was the 90s.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Well, that was a fun one. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
I like that outfit. Okay, all right, I'm cool with that one. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in for another episode. Hopefully the video portion of this one comes out like stellar. I put a lot of effort into this. I physically took myself into a Walmart to buy these chairs, which is like whatever the opposite of self-care, self-harm. Yeah, that was an act of self-harm. But thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys in the next episode.